So we're going to talk about the left hip myth. Okay? Well, in the book, Hogan shows us the illustrations where it's right here, and there's like a rope or a bungee cord attached to like maybe this part of my loop on my belt, and it's attached to the butt of the club, and then as it's coming, it's moving all this stuff down together, okay? And I forget what page that's on, but it's like, the belt would be pulling this down as you're coming around your body. Well, it's not done with you physically trying to move the left hip. Period. It's done because when we get out here and we're shadowing, now I'm running out of the block, which causes the left hip to get out of the way, which causes, if there was the connection, so here's our connection to there and there, we've run out of the block and we're running. See how it would be left hip getting out of the way because the right is driving it through, which is making all this move together as it comes down. The myth of the left hip is not get here and try to move the left hip. Why? Because it goes against every fiber in your brain. Remember? If I want to go in my intended direction, I have to move in the opposite direction. If I want to go in my intended direction, I have to move in the opposite. Intended, opposite. It's just the way that it works. So now, when we're understanding here, pivot point, there's our recenter, but it's really this load. So now I'm going to go run the 7.5, and when I do that, the left hip starts getting out of the way on its own without me trying to turn it, but it is being governed by the right side movement, the opposite direction of where I want to go. So I'm here. Now when I'm driving, look at how this left hip just goes whang and gets out of the way. So the myth of the left hip is not, we're not trying to turn this. We're not trying to, now again, this might look like a lot of modern day players. They swing out, they hit a fade, the arms swing by, it tries to pull them up. But look at the injuries. Look at the injuries on the PGA Tour, on the LPGA Tour. This modern swing is screwing up a lot of people because the body is not accepting the force on the club. But Ben Hogan, no golf injuries, not really, car accident, all that other stuff, had nothing to do with golf. And hell, even after the injuries, which he was still pretty beat up from, he could still make this motion in play. However, the swing that Hogan was making, there is no stress on the body, but it is built to support the speed and the leverage of what's going to happen. So we can understand the myth of the left hip, even though in the book it talks about this connection. So everybody's like, oh shit, I got to turn this left hip. I got to turn this left hip. But think about this logically. Let's look at this from down the line for a second. This part of my spine, as it goes down my spine to the very last vertebrae that is going into the pelvis, this area of the spine is fused. So what does that mean, fused? It means, think of something that's welded on something, that it's connected, and say, oh, we welded it together. That's what fused means. It is here. Okay, so there is not a tremendous amount of rotation ability in the lower part of our spine. Hell, until it gets up to about right here, we've already, figured out how to do the shoulders and how much they rotate. This part doesn't rotate that well. So if I get here and I think, turn the hip, oh my God, what happened? Early extension. I'm going to try to stay back and turn the hip. Oh my God, I'm in front of the golf ball. I'm going to do anything with this left hip. First, screwed. Absolutely screwed, because it is not the way that your brain interprets how you should move. So if I get to the top and I'm like, okay, now there it is. Now I'm going to run. Oh my God, I didn't try to turn my left hip. It got the hell out of the way because my brain's going, hey, Chris, let me help you. Watch this. Boom. Your body's going to get out of the way. Your left hip is going to turn without you trying to turn it. And then it's this here. And then it's finished running out of the 7.5. The pelvis thrust up. And it's boom. The pelvis gets up in front because when I finish running out of the block, boom, I can accelerate, which caused Hogan's foot to go whoosh. Because it is what it is. So forget about trying to move in the downswing, the left side, and get this rotation. And it doesn't work that way. It is governed by the right side. It's power. Watch this, baseball player. Here it comes. The baseball player doesn't go, ugh, trying to move the left hip. What does he have left? Nothing. But he gets here and he's like, okay, here, his one thought is this, the right side running out of the block on the 7.5 opens. The whole body starts to open. And then it gets me into this leverage position to where I can hit. So again, it'd be here. And it's like, okay, I'm triggering. Here it comes. Boom. Right into the hitting area. And then I can drive it wherever I've got to go. The same principle happens for what we are doing because we are swinging a stick with weight on the end of it. Baseball, they're swinging a bat. It's thin down here. Then the barrel comes up, so there's more weight on the end of the stick. So this coming out of the block, following the 90s with the hands, pushing, the hands are coming in, the force of the club head is going out as we're moving around our body without trying to turn this left hip. The myth of the left hip is not rotate it, it is boom. And because I'm running out of the block, this club will follow. Look at this. Everybody's like that. They see that picture of Hogan where it's like, he's like this. Well, guess what? It's not, watch out, picture this in your mind, right here. Okay, picture that picture. Watch this. I didn't try to drop my arms. I didn't try to turn my left hip. Get rid of the idea that it's the left hip and you're going to be better off. We'll see you in the next video.